Okay, today we will see what is a string model and what are the annotations we will use in string model, and we have created a component and how to render that matter onto the page by using the string model. And first of all, we will just look over that what is a string model. String model are pure plain old Java objects which are automatically mapped from string objects, typically resources and request objects. Means what is meant by the string models means it is one of the pure plain old Java objects, and we will use the string models for that, uh, changing the Java to the string model. Means to convert our the Java into the string models, we will use some of the annotations. But in this string models, you can see the whole Java objects and which are automatically mapped from string objects. Typically, it may be resource or maybe request objects, and we can also inject OSGI services in these models as well. Means in this particular scenario like string models, we can use our OSGI services also. And we have some of the designs for this string models. Means what are the goals for designing string models? Like entirely annotation driven and use standard annotations where possible, pluggable third one and OOTB out of the box, and support resources properties like via value map value, sync bindings, OSGI services, request attributes. And we have one more thing like adapt multiple objects and support both classes and interface and work with existing string infrastructure. And I want to say some more brief about the defined goals. Like first of all, we'll go to entire annotation driven. Everything about how this system works will be controlled by annotations. Think of annotations as special instructions you can add to your Java code to tell the system how to handle that. Means we are writing some of the code, like we are writing some backend Java code, and how we will use that, how we will handle that code. We will handle that code by using some of the annotations. It may be at the rate value map value, at the rate inject, and there are a lot of annotations. By using those annotations, we will handle the Java classes, Java code. And there is the second point. It is the pure 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 pojos. What is meant by pure pojos? We want to keep things simple and use plain old Java objects wherever possible. This means no complex frameworks or special classes, just straightforward Java objects. Means wherever we want to present the Java classes like plain object Java world classes, where it will simply paste that wherever it will be possible, and there is no means for some of the frameworks of of special classes, and it will be the just straightforward for Java objects, and use standard annotations where possible. The third one means instead of creating of our own custom annotations, we will use one of the already existed and are widely recognized in the Java world. That helps keeps the things constant and easier for the developer to understand. Means for every time we don't want to create any annotations or anything of the Java. Here it was simply we will use the existing one, and the developer use the existing one, and that guy will use this for creating the web pages or or building this code. The developer will use these of the annotations. And pluggable, the system should be flexible and allow used to add or remove component easily. It like building with Lego bricks. You can snap pieces together or take their apart as needed. Here, by using the pluggable, we can add or remove the components very easily, like a bricks. If we need that, we will just build that, and if we don't want, we will just remove that. And out of the box, which will suppose we in this scenario, we want the system to work smoothly with common features like resource properties, like Sling bundles and OSGI services, Java components, and request attributes. We have some of the common features like Sling. Here it was saying that we have some of the common features like Sling bundles, OSGI services, and request attributes. By using these common features, we will use the system to work very smoothly and adapt multiple objects with minimal requirements. The system should be able to handle adapting different types of object like resource and HTTP request with as little extra setup as possible. Here we have two types of request, like one is resource and another one is HTTP request. By using these two things, the system is it is very easy to handle the handling and easy to little extra. It is very useful to having extra setup like resources and as well as HTTP request, and support both classes and interfaces. In Java, classes define objects and as well as interfaces define behaviors. We want our system to be able to work with both types seamlessly and work with existing Sling infrastructure. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. Our system should fit in smoothly with other parts of the Sling models without needing big changes to how those parts are operated. And these are the designs and what are the advantages of the Sling models. You want to need to write a lot of extra code because most of the time just one annotation will do the job. And whenever we are here, first advantage is to write the less code because we have some of the annotations to implement the code, means whatever the necessity of code it will implement by the annotation, and reducing coding effect. Yeah, here we are writing less code, and what are the presenting of that code, we can present that matter by using the annotations, and it was more robust. And maintainability with Sling models. Using Sling model makes your code easily to maintain over time because it follows a consistent pattern that designed for the Sling framework. Means we have a we can say like that we have a consistent patterns. By using those patterns, we can make our Sling models very easier to work it on it, and avoiding redundancy and custom annotations for code reuse, exporting resource as a JSON. We can export our output as a JSON format also, and supporting for the caching. Uh, the system include features to store the retrieve data from the cache, which can improve performance by avoiding unnecessary computation or database queries. And these are the some of the annotations. And the main thing, we have some of the Maven dependency, how it will works. First of all, they depend on your AEM version. So best way is to find the dependency at your AEM instance. Means where exactly our Sing model, already our Sing model is presenting in our project or maybe our instance. Where exactly it will just present. Go to your, I have opened my instance. After opening the instance, you can go to the and simply open that localhost, maybe system console bundles. Here you can go and just check your bundles. Go to the bundles option. Okay. Simply check this matter like Apache ORG Sling models and search it. Sorry. Search it right. Okay. By searching here, you can see what is the exact API it was presenting in our instance. Here we have the Apache Sling model API. It was presenting right over here. And you can search in your local too. Just go to your project wherever you have mentioned in the folder. Just go to your project. This is my project name. And here you can see that form.xml file and check the same thing. Here it was presenting. This is the dependency for that Maven, for the Sling model of that Maven. It was presenting in our local too. By having this thing, we will just X is the Sing model, and the another one is the same thing it was mentioned here. And we have annotations like different types of annotations like at the rate model, at the rate inject, at the rate named, at the rate optional, at the rate default, at the rate filter, at the rate via, at the rate path, and the at the rate post construct, at the rate source, at the rate exporters, exporter options. And we have these types of annotations. Mainly we will use these all the things. First of all, we'll just see that what is at the rate model. It declares a model class or interface. Means it will declare our Java class like it was presenting in our model classes. Means our Sing model classes. It was changing from our Java class to the Sing model classes. And at the rate inject. And nowadays it was in, duplicating, but we can use a at the rate inject. Instead of at the rate inject, we can use at the rate value map value, the same results we can see. And marks a field or method as injectable. Whatever the field or a method I want to inject onto our page, I can use this annotation. I can render this means by injecting this matter I will get the output on our page. And the at the rate name, it declares a name for the injection. Whatever I am trying to inject, I can declare the name right over there. And at the rate option, you know that what is meant by optional, and I don't want to say that it may be the option whenever I don't want to if I don't want to display anything. I want to miss, I can say like that if I have given some of the default data, it want to show that. And if there is no default data, and if I am not giving any data right over on our page to display, it will show blank. And at the rate default, if I have mentioned the out, means I am setting the default value. If I am not presenting any data on our field, particular field, then this default value you can see on that page. At the rate filter, it will use as a OAGI services filter. And at the rate via, change the adaptables as the source of the injection. Means it will change the directions, I can say simply. And at the rate path, where we want to get that. And at the rate post construct methods to call upon models of opinion creations. Only it was used for the model classes. And at the rate source explicitly tie on instead field or method to a particular inject can also be an other annotations. And these are the annotations we are using. And here are some injection strategies, like we have some strategy annotations, what is the properties we are using, and what it will applicable, and applicable objects. For example, we will take a value map, we will use it in, and how we will use that annotation at the rate value map value. And what are the properties I can use it is name via, and it is applicable for that which is adaptable to value map. And here I apply available objects are value map to read properties. And like that we have different types of annotations. And for that strategies, these all the things. And now I just want to say that how to interlink our Eclipse, our AEM to the Eclipse. Okay, first of all, you just want to open your Eclipse wherever it was there. It is my Eclipse. Okay. Here I have my Eclipse. Just go to the help. Here you can see the options like install new software. Just try to click on install new software, add, and mention that AEM. And here you want to mention this link HTTP up to the form and the backward slash. And just try to paste that one. Click on the add. You can get these two options. Just try to select all. Next, and you will get four more folders, and you want to click on it, and you have one more thing. Next option will be enabled right over there. After clicking the next, you can see accept the terms and conditions right over in this place. After clicking on the accept terms and conditions, just try to click on the finish button. I have already done in my local, so it was not enabling the next step. And after having these all the things, here it will present, means it will show that installing the AEM in our Eclipse. After getting the 100%, here you can see the properties, sorry, perspectives. Here these are the different types of perspective. If you want to change from our Java to Java Enterprise Edition, you can change here. And I now right now I have opened my AEM. Just try to click AEM and open it. Okay. After that, you can add the I add your AEM. We have access our AEM to our Eclipse. After that, just try to import our project. Here you can see the import option. Just go to the Maven, and already it was existing in our local. Try to click on existing Maven project and browse the data where it was presented. It was in here, it was directly mentioned. Yeah, just select your project, and if anything is missing, just click on the select all and finish, and your project will be displayed here. While you are adding this thing, you will get some of the errors. Simply click OK or resolve later. Okay. First of all, I have added my AEM instance to my Eclipse. Okay. After that, I have import my project from my local to the Eclipse. Now, what we want to do, if I have changes in, if I have done any changes in this Eclipse or anything, okay, I want to export from my local to AEM instance. How I can do it? In your Java, while you are working on the servlet in your Java, you have done that. Yeah, you have add the Tomcat server. Like that, just try to click on the create option, or directly I can say here there is a server option. If you can't see any server option right over here, simply search here. You can find that, and just try to click on the link. Here our Adobe Experience Manager is the thing. You know AEM, Adobe Experience Manager. Now just click the next button. You want to get the 6 modules like all core UI apps, UI app structure, UI config, and UI content. But here I can't see that core option. For that scenario, just right click on the core, go to the properties. Here you can see the project facets. Now convert to the faceted form. Simply add your bundle module, or you can click on the content module. Here you can click apply and apply and close. Project facet. Now just try to reopen it again. Next. Now you can see our core module. Simply add all, finish. You will get one error. Why so? What is our port number? 4502. 4502. But it was showing 8080. It is not our port number. Simply change that from 80802 to 4502 and save it. Now you can see what are the modules it was added under this Adobe Experience Manager. Now again try to right click on it, restart, or it may be start. See, started and synchronized. Now we are ready to do work. And there is one more thing. Okay, here I can see. What we want to see, the folder structure or content tree under the UI apps. Means I want to see the apps, client libs, component, these all the things. But here it was not showing that. At that particular time, the same thing. Just try to right click, properties. Here you can see AEM. Click on the AEM, and here it is the path. It was selected, means it was not selected wrongly, but this is the path it was showing right over here. But I want to change that path. Just click on UI apps, SRC, main, content, JCR root. Up to JCR root, it was enough because apps and each and everything, client lips components, I-89, it was presenting in the JCR root. Just try to click on the JCR root and select it, apply and close. Okay, now try to open this one. You can see you can access. Means before that it was presented, but it was presented in our library. Right now I am not presenting. I want to activate that things. So I have activated that one. I have done the changes. This is one type of what we miss. This is one type of thing to deploy or to build our code in our local by using Eclipse, but I doesn't explain the whole code. And in Visual Studio Code, if you want to do the same thing, if you want to extend, if you want to add any extensions to work on it, simply you can go and here you can see the open folder. The same thing, click on the project name and import that select folder. You can see our project right over here. And if you want to add any extension by using the Visual Studio Code, simply type AEM. You can add any one of in these two things. Okay, now again we will just move to the Eclipse. Okay, up to now I have said that what is sync model a theory and how to add the our AEM instance, means how to add our AEM server to Eclipse or maybe the Visual Studio Code. But the main motto of our today's class, it is to fetch the data from our local to the AEM instance, or maybe to fetch the data from our CRDXE2 on our page where it was stored in content. I want to fetch the data from the content to on my page by using Sling model. For that, simply what we can use Eclipse or maybe VS Code as your wish. Okay, first of all, we'll just see that we can use Eclipse. Simply go to the core SRC main Java, and we are writing about the Sing models. So that go to the Sing models package and just try to right click on it, insert, and it is the was the class, I hope so. After a long time I am using this. Okay, and I want to mention that my name or something else like project. I will just mention it was the project. You know the P want to be in caps for the class name, and there is no main method. There is no use of main method in our area. Simply click finish. Here you can see that our package name as well as our class name. Okay. Now for converting our Java to Sling models, what is the annotation we want to use? At the rate model. You will use showing some of the the same thing in Visual Studio Code also. Just go to your core and here the same thing SRC main. Here models. On the models, you will click right click and new file. You will take a new file and you want to mention .java at the end. Otherwise, it won't consider in the Visual Studio Code. SRC main. SRC main. Yes. Okay. At the rate model. Now I want to import this annotation. Okay. For that, control space bar. The annotation was imported. After that, means our annotation will works like to convert our Java to the Sing model classes. I have done it. After that, mention like adaptables means defining which type we are using. Like it may be Sing HTTP request or maybe resource dot class. We are using two different types of classes. Adaptables equal to It may be resource or HTTP request. The both the things it will do the same thing. Like we why we are using this adaptables means we are just mentioning that in what are the matter it was presenting in this class. It want to be append and it want to be used. Like if I am using HTTP request, what is meant by the HTTP request? Whenever we build the code, it will just take this request and it will just go and check right over there, and it will give the response. The main scenario is to have the request and give the response. And resource is used for like we have some of the nodes in our CRDXC, and whatever the data it was present in our in that particular nodes, we can fetch that thing. And by using the both things will have the same output, but we will use two different classes. And after that we have one thing like default injection strategy. Yeah, it is used for the default values. If nothing was mentioned, you can use this thing. And I am just defining it as an optional. Okay, it is an optional default injection strategy. It is an optional, means whenever we doesn't have any data, whatever the default data it want to present right over there, which I have given here. After that, this is the main thing. We are converting our Java class into the Sling models, and by using some of the classes, it may be Sling HTTP dot class or maybe resource dot class. By using this thing, we are just using in our code for fetching the data. Okay, and first I want to inject. Okay, I'm using the annotation at the rate inject for injecting the data. For the same thing, for importing this one, just control space bar and just mention what it may be, the Java X inject or maybe the ORGI Apache Sling models. Now I am using Java X inject. After that, mention that public, it may be string. Okay, now just go to your CRXT. We have created one component, right? I have created one component in the previous classes. The same thing I am just using. Here what we have four fields like four nodes. It is name, number, gender, and the date of birth. The first field, it is the name. For getting the name, we will use absolutely, it was a string, and I want to mention the name. Okay, string name. Okay. So same as now the same thing you can use that at the rate inject. It is the number. Okay. The same thing I am using for the remaining two fields also. The third one, it was the gender, and fourth one, it was the date. I have mentioned right over date. You can see that in the name you can see the date. Okay, I have using that thing. Okay, here I have whatever the fields I have created, I have injected those fields right over here. Now I want to use some of the methods. It may be do get, do post like that. I want to use some of the methods here. For that, here you have one option. It may be like source, and you can have the generate getters and setters. But I want the getters, not setters. Okay, wait a second. Where's the source? I can say that I can't create the code. That's on that. That's a reading on the settings. Yeah. Just try to create that thing. Okay, I have created. You have no, you. I know everyone knows how to use the getters and setters. You can simply write public string get name, and the name in the name the n want to be caps. Okay, and here whatever the name it was mentioned right over here in the string, you want to mention the same thing. I have done the part. Now it will execute if I build my project. Now you can see the data onto our page. Like import. What I want to import. If I build, yeah, okay, if I build the code or if I build my project, the matter it will display whatever the thing I want to display on my page, it will display on not display. Why? Why means we have created the code and we have convert the code from our Java to something like a Sling models. But here we doesn't access for which component I want to. I have written the code for which component I have presenting. I doesn't mention that thing. For that, just go to your UI apps. Here, just go to the component where you have created, and I have created the component name. It is Sai. Now just try to access that sai.html. Now we have some of the slightly text like div data slide use dot list. Can I use list? Okay, I will try it first of all. List equal to list is the variable. I will say list is not a variable. It was an object. Okay, and after that I want to mention like double quotes. In the double quotes, sorry, we want to mention the package name. We want to mention the I will let you know by writing this. And after that, I want to mention like class name, not class name, dot class name, and just try to close this div tag. Okay. Inside this div, we want to use some of the slightly text. Like we have written the backend code. For that backend code, we want to what we have done in our slightly by using the properties. It was a universal thing. But if we mention the properties, that properties, we will get the data. But here I have created one object. By using this object, I want to fetch that there. For that, I want we can mention that I will just take a paragraph tags or maybe I can access directly. For that, just mention the name column. After that, dollar symbol, use the expression dollar curly braces. In that curly braces, it want to be the list object. We have created one object. In that object, mention that object dot. It was the name, right? Name. Here it was the number, the gender, and it was the date. Okay, the same thing, number. I'm missing something here. Like, I'm missing some of the codes. Okay, everything is good. It doesn't leave anything. Okay. Okay, just save it. Now I want to build my project. If I build my project, whatever the code and whatever the data I have done, it will just reflect onto my page, and it will just fetch the data and it will present onto my page. Before that, just try to export this thing. Here you can have the export option because I have done the changes right over here now, and there is no need of that thing. Okay. Meanwhile, I will just do it export to server. And how we will build this project? In our Visual Studio Code, you can simply press Ctrl J, you can get the output. But here, not like that. For that, simply we have this option like run. Is just go to the run configurations. Here you want to just go to it was the Maven project. So just use the Maven bin. Just try to double click on it and the new configuration. Just name the configuration like I am just mentioning the same project name because and here you want to mention like where it want to be start the building. You can select the top of that. If you have selected the top one, it will just everything is included below that one. So I have selected on the top one. Simply our main thing is clean install. Our goal it is and clean and install. And here profiles, as we have used that MVN clean install our command, but here you want to mention that auto install. There is no instead, there is no any use like mentioning of MVN clean install minus p because we are using the Maven build on. Simply just go like auto install single package because I am deploying both the bundle as well as the package. So I am just using the both things. Auto install single package. Simply apply. Now just try to build that one. Save. There is no need to deploy each and every module continuously because you will use the core as well as the apps and maybe the front end. You can mention those things And these are all the things like UI test, dispatcher, integration test. We don't want to mention this thing. We can stop that modules. I will let you know at the end how to stop the modules. And it was the build success. Just go to the page where you can see that it was the my project name. Just try to edit that one. Try to click that one. Where it was throwing some error like so just go to your backend code and once check it. Here we have a thread initial and everything. I have it. Just try to remove the setters because I am setting this data right over there. There is no need of presenting here. Okay. Okay. Here I hope so. I want to use the annotation, not this one. Maybe the different one like yeah. Now just again try to build the same thing. I think I have taken the wrong annotation. Okay, no problem. Just try to build again. Simply click on this one. And again, just go to your EN page, try to reload the page. Once I want to check this one. Whatever the changes I have done, it was reflecting. Yes, it was reflecting. Okay. The subject is the name number. Yeah. For the annotation, I have taken the wrong one, so it was not displayed right over there. That. And for the date, I want to mention the different one. I hope so. Okay, okay. Here I have taken the date. Okay, in this scenario, this is the thing. It was not working. Okay, you can try and you can let me know for this date. Okay, I have said that I have used the code and I have deployed that and I have built each and everything. Okay, but I have one doubt. Is it working by using the code? Anyone has got any doubt? Because we have used the slightly. We have used the slightly by using the properties that by that properties dot name or properties that data or anything. I have fetched the data, but right now I have done the same thing, but not using the properties. Is it working? You can see the output, but how you can say it was working? Okay. For that, I have a small clarification. I can say like that. Simply in the backend code, we'll just give the default value. If nothing is there, I want to mention something right over there. For that, what is the default value I want to mention? What is the annotation? At the rate default. Okay. Default, and it is the value equal to value. I want to mention that project name. Okay. Here I want to mention it was the double quotes. Values. Yes, those the values. Okay. Here what I have done, I have taken the default value. Okay. I will take one more thing like I have one more thing like at the rate value map value. The same thing it was the value map value. Okay. I want to import that annotation. For the importing, you can simply mention that control space bar. And I want to mention the default value for this thing. Like if this data is not presenting right over there, I want to fetch this default value right over there. Save it simply. Now what exactly I am just doing is, here I have mentioned that, sorry. I have mentioned in the wrong group. Cut it and I mention here. Yes, okay. Now again we want to build this one. Now what exactly it will happen if I doesn't mention any data right over there? I want to show the default values. And value map both are equal. The both are the things is same but slightly different. In now right now the rate inject is duplicated, but some of the times we are using instead of at the rate inject we are using at the rate value map. It will be little bit boring and sleepy, but While you are practicing, it will be very interesting because you will get some of the errors while you are building. If you get any other errors, don't try to delete the project. Just ask anyone. Okay, it was build success. Again, just go right over there. Just try to reload the page. If there is anything wrong in code, you can't see that component on our page. It is one syntax for that. Okay. If you when you have drag and drop onto our page, after building the code, the component is not visible right over here, and it is visible at here in our content tree. Means it was saying that there is some error in our codes. On that time, just go back and revert the code and check it. Make the changes and again push that one. Now what I have done exactly, if there is no name, there is no matter in this name as well as this one. Then I want to get the default value. Okay. Sorry, I have now it was working the date one. Previously I have not selected the correct thing. Okay. Yeah, now I can see the date one. Okay, what I have done, see here. There is no data in this name as well as number. And I have said that where this data will store in our content folder. Just go to your content folder. There is our project name and US, EN, and just go to the JCR content. What is meant by JCR? Java content repository. Okay, my component name is Sai. And now you can see that here the date as well as the gender it was storing. But the data of name and number is not showing here. But you can render the matter somewhere else by using the default values. Now we can say that code is working. We can say because we the same thing we have done by using slightly and by using the right now in models also we are using the slightly, but the difference you want to know. So I have raised that question, and that's all about today's class.